Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with I guess I'm gonna call it Movie Dump 2, The Happenstance. About a month ago, it's been about 2 months since I did an On the Fly review, which is, my bread and butter. I've done over 600 of them on this channel. I kind of got, just slowed down. It's not the first time this has happened to me. You gotta try to keep it fun. And this is just a hobby. This isn't my job. But it's fun. You're talking about everything you see, no matter how mundane or moronic or forgettable it is. I've even come across videos like just scrolling through things on my channel. And I'll see like, hey, that's a movie I reviewed. What fucking movie was that? And then I watch my review for it, like, and it pops up on, like, Time Hop or something. I'm like, yeah, I still don't remember that movie. But anyhow, yeah, I got, I'm going to do another movie dump. I got 8 movies here. Let's see if I can get through this in one take. Well, let's see. Let's just get into it, right? First, I'm going to talk about The Damned, which is, stars Odessa Young and Joe Cole. Joe Cole's a good actor. Has had a lot of chances to, really, show off his talent. He was good in Green Room and in Secret in Their Eyes. Whole setup here is 19th century Arctic fishing village. And then after a ship runs the rocks and sinks, a selfish and cowardice decision ends up bringing on a vicious and bloodthirsty curse onto their land. Truly, damning the already doomed island. Visually, I really like this. Between, the photography, the costumes, the sets, the use of editing and sound, there is some real passion into trying to bring some authenticity to this movie. But I personally just felt the movie fell apart in its third act. Now, granted, I'm glad it doesn't break down into a generic CGI monster chasing around everybody in the last 15 minutes. But at the same time, I still wanted a little bit more. I'm going to give the movie, nevertheless, 3 stars. I would recommend it as a horror movie fan because I think there was some good stuff here. Up next, we got Warfare, directed by Alex Garland, who's got movies like Ex Machina and Civil War under his belt. He's an Oscar nominee. Ray Mendoza, who was both co-wrote and co-directed this movie with him, who was one of the survivors of the real-life event that inspired this movie, which that event would be in 2006, a bunch of Navy SEALs in Iraq who were basically occupying a house while running a surveillance, or whatever you want to call it, a recon. Ended up getting pinned down during an insurgence, and it is just really the intense, brutal, vicious, terrifying, intense, is it intense twice? Altercation of it all, it's just that simple, soldiers in the line of fire, and it's, keep your head, stand your ground, stay alive. And, wait for backup. It's a really, really good movie. Joseph Quinn delivers an excellent performance, and Will Porte, Michael Gandolfini, good performances from the young cast all around here. Very good movie. Highly recommend it. By the way, I don't know, did I say 3 stars? Because I'd give The Damned 3 stars. For this movie, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. This is a good early contender for one of the best movies of the year. Even kind of the darker things about it, I kind of feel like that really happened. Like, a guy gets shot. He's blown all to hell. They're trying to stop the bleeding, trying to save his life, trying to keep him to going into shock. But all the other soldiers around him are kind of bumbling on the phone. They keep bumping into this poor son of a bitch, kicking it. So don't kick the fucking foot, man. You just got blown up. Leave them alone. Kind of. It's so messed up. Like, yeah, that definitely happened, didn't it? And next is we got The Luckiest Man in America, which stars Paul Walter Hauser, David Strathairn, Walton Goggins, and Macy Williams. It's another true story set in 1984 about a man named Michael Larson who went on the game show Pressure, like, the No Whammies. and cheated. Ended up taking the network for over I think roughly $160,000 because he had figured out how to count the lights on the game. And this movie is not only kind of dealing with the kind of psyche of a man such as him, but also kind of goes into the panic levels the studio escalates to, or the network, as they slowly realize that what's going on and that there's nothing they can do to stop it. See if I can pause this real fast. Up next, Final Destination Bloodlines. Let me tell you something about this. It wasn't until I was sitting down, settling, ready for the film to begin, that it kind of all dawned on me that I love Final Destination. I'd forgotten that I'm a fan of this series there for a while. Ever since the first film came out 25 years ago, when I was in high school. Yeah, I'm old. But, I mean, yeah, man, I've always really enjoyed these movies there. It has a simple formula. You know what you're getting into, and they deliver. They're great. They're all really, really fun movies. And it's fun. It's strange to me, like, my least favorite one in the series is the movie that has, and it stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, which is not only just one of my all-time crushes, but genuinely, I would argue, the best actor in the whole series. But I think she has the weakest one. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's just a roller coaster. I mean, yeah, roller coasters can be scary, but in comparison to, like car pile-ups or a plane crash, I don't know, it doesn't really, I don't know, the third one is the lackluster one, and even though, like I said, you got Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Amanda Crew, and Crystal Lowe, there's like some Scream Queen royalty in there, isn't it? What the hell's happened? But it's, this new one I loved. I sat through this whole movie with this massive smile on my face, shit-eating grin if there ever was one. Could not have had more fun. I'm giving this movie 5 stars. If you're still on the fence about seeing it, get off that fence. Go see the new movie. And first off, and otherwise, if you're a fan of Final Destination, what the hell are you doing sitting on a fence? Do you want to end up like an Edgar Allan Poe character or something like that? And yes, this movie does have the final screen performance of the late, great Tony Todd. Been a fan of Tony Todd since I was about 7 years old when I saw Night of the Living Dead, the remake. About a year or two later was was Candyman, which I've always thought Candyman is kind of an overrated movie, but Tony Todd is so great, so awesome. And we get a bit of a backstory of his character in this movie, which I don't know if we necessarily needed, but I understand why it's there, and it's okay. It's okay. It hurts nothing. It's played with absolute respect towards him as a film and horror icon, and I'm all for it. And I gotta point out a thing. His character's name in this series is William Bloodsworth, and I shit you not, I had a friend in elementary school named Bill Bloodsworth. He had that name, and I told him then he had a pirate name. I told him that was such a Bill Bloodsworth. That's a pirate's fucking name right there, man. But I always thought it was so cool, man. Yeah, I come across stuff like that. I think I'm not the only time. Like I've met. I went to a school with a guy named Kevin Pope. I saw a movie. I think it was that film Bad Company with Chris Rock. Guy named Kevin Pope in that movie. I went to school with a Justin Hobart. There's like a random movie, maybe Big Trouble with Tim Allen, where I think there's just like out of nowhere there's a pilot named Justin Hobart, and it's just always, hey, I know that guy. When it popped up, it's such a bizarre thing. I mean, I also went to school with a guy named Peter Parker, but he had been told about. He was aware of who also had his name. Anyhow. Up next, Den of Thieves II, Pantera. Starring Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr., a.k.a. Ice Cube Jr., a.k.a. Ice Chip. About 20 minutes into this movie, it dawned on me, or I remembered that I haven't seen the first movie. Which is just strange. Gerard Butler. I love Gerard Butler. Action movies. I love action movies. Why didn't I see this? I watch everything. How did I not get around to this film? Either way, whatever is what it is. It's not like it's fucking Shakespeare. I need to follow. In fact, even Shakespeare, you don't have to see Henry IV to know what's going on walking into Henry V. You know what I mean? Uh, but this is a really fun action movie. I do think it's a bit long-winded, but it does, it does feel earned. Like it gets it out of the intensity and the suspense and the action scenes. And even going into this, kind of realizing about, like I said, about 20 minutes in, I don't know these characters or the setup. It's still, I mean, not like it was hard to follow the stories. I haven't gone back and rewatched and watched Den of Thieves since, even though after enjoying this movie, I would go back and rewatch it. And I would recommend this movie. I'd give Den of Thieves 3.5 stars. I'd probably give it more or less depending on if I'll like the original movie. Next, Last Breath, starring Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, Finn Cole, and Cliff Curtis. This is a true story about the guys in a diving buoy hanging off a ship during a goddamn storm. Guy gets cut loose and is just hanging off like a tower underwater with his oxygen cut off, waiting to be rescued. And it's based on a real life miracle like survival story. And I thought this movie was really, really boring. I think all the actors really do their best, especially Woody Harrelson. He's such a great actor anyway. But to me, what really bothered me about this film was, I know it's an odd thing to get weirded about, but was the photography. I mean, I know they're trying to emulate the documentary that the film was based on, but how amateur is that, honestly? I mean, this is cinema. Use cinema. Documentarians have footage they can find, interviews they can obtain. They have to work with what they got. You're a filmmaker. Your only limitation is your imagination, sir. Especially when you talk about something like underwater photography, which can open up so many realms of visual terror and wonder, and just you can truly create some deeply pardon the pun, deeply awe-inspiring images with that kind of that location underwater. It's I mean, how James Cameron alone has almost made it a signature of his, these great underwater images. I just thought this movie was just incredibly droll, predictable. It felt like a Hallmark movie. It felt like a TV movie. Yeah, 2 stars. Dogman. Holy sweet hell. Cartoon movie starring the voices of Pete Davidson, Isla Fisher, Lil Rel Howery. Based on a series of kids' books with some just ridiculous titles, like, the Scarlet Shedder. For Whom the Ball Rolls. But based on this, the same guys who did the Captain Underpants. My daughter is a fan of those. I haven't really read them. I probably should. Read them with her, but she loves them. But this Dogman, my kids were stoked to see this movie. So we finally sat down, we watched as a family, and I laughed my ass off at this thing, y'all. I mean, not only is it really out there, wild, hold nothing back, fucking 100 jokes a minute kind of humor and wild imagination. The supervillain, main villain who keeps trying to pay his henchmen with like Chuck E. Cheese tokens and Mentos and shit. That was a great running gag. I just so much of the humor about this really was great to me, and the visuals and the music and the contraptions and setup kind of felt like this homage and celebration to like Hanna-Barbera era of animation and TV shows, and had this all at the same time this deep kind of real family human story about being part of something. I thought this was a wonderful movie. I'm giving Dog Man 5 fucking stars too. It was a wonderful film that I absolutely wholeheartedly recommend you watch with your kids. And finally, Love Hurts, starring Ki Hoi Wan, aka Jonathan Ki Wan, or as we call him in my house, Short Round, because we're family like that. So Short Round and Ariane DeBose, aka Timo Rito Marina, he is an assassin who is in hiding, now a real estate agent, and she's his old girlfriend who gives him away just as literally no other reason than to liven up their relationship on Valentine's Day. I hated this movie with every molecule of my essence. I give this film a turkey. Well, I'll say this. Jonathan Ki Wan is great. Love the man. He busted his ass. He deserved better, and he was terrific in this. But it's thankless work. The two assassins, the guy who it's his first Valentine's Day since his divorce, so he's kind of depressed. That was and so his partner, his buddy, is trying to cheer him up throughout the course of the day. That's a genuinely great thing, running gag throughout the film. And Sean Astin, his one scene with Daniel Wu, the villain, I'll get back to that just in a second. But that was a wonderful, excellent scene that was way above anything else in this film. But the real problem here is this bitch Ariana DeBose, or however the fuck you want to say her name. I hate her. I fucking hate her. First off, she stole her Oscar. She had an Oscar. The fact she has an Oscar is absurd. Rita Moreno was amazing in West Side Story, and she deserved to win that Oscar. Ariana DeBose is just there. She's just playing a character that's won an Oscar before, so they gave her an Oscar too, when frankly that award should have gone to Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog. Riley Keough wasn't even nominated for Zola, and y'all should know I love that movie. That's a masterpiece right there. But she's awful. Since she's won her Oscar, she has just been absolute toxicness. Just everything she's in. It's like, look at the streak she's on just in the last year. Argyle, this thing, Craven the Hunter. In a year, 3 of the worst movies ever made. All her, right there, front and center on the poster with her ugly, inhuman, unemotional face. It's like she's not unattractive. It's not like she's not like she's a dog or anything like this. But honestly, I've seen more attractive feet, and I'm not a foot guy. I can't stand this woman. Every take, it's just her. Even if she's looking at other actors, she's always mugging to the camera, always just making faces. You're never, ever in danger or anywhere in the remnants of being threatened, of being approached with a character. You just always see an actor acting, and I hate that kind of shit. Jim Carrey is more a natural character actor than this fucking bitch is. I don't ever want to see this woman in a movie again. I'm serious. She's the worst. The absolute worst. I miss, people gave Jessica Alba all this shit about being like she was some kind of rotten actress just because she's too pretty to be believable. What? At least she's actually trying. This woman doesn't even try. It's just this shovel face shit. Oh, God. Oh, God, it's wretched. But then let's talk about Sean Astin. Even in this crap, Sean Astin, not only is this man able to walk into crap like this and Adam Sandler's Click and be absolutely amazing in dog shit, have standout great moments in these dog shit movies. But look at his whole life. What is it? He's in early 50s now. He was born into Hollywood royalty, being the son of John Astin and Patty Duke, Oscar winner, and Gomez Adams. He was. Wait, am I right about that? No. No, I don't think I am. But he was born in, nevertheless, he was still born into Hollywood royalty. He was the leader of the fucking Goonies. He was goddamn Rudy, for Christ's sakes, and he was Samwise Gamgee, the true hero of The Lord of the Rings, and the most important hobbit of them all. Wonderful, delightful short films. Just, the man's a national treasure. We are all better off for Sean Astin just being around, being able to pepper his delightfulness into awful, wretched, putrid properties like Love Hurts. So that's it. This one way longer than my last one, but, I rambled on. Just to recap, The Damned, 3 stars. Warfare, 4.5 stars. The Luckiest Man in America, I'm going to give that 4 stars. Final Destination Bloodlines, 5 stars. Go see it. Super fucking fun movie. Smiled on my face the whole time. Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, 2.5 stars, but it's a perfectly fine action movie. I do recommend it, even at 2.5 stars. Fuck it, 3 stars. Last Breath, 2 stars. That movie's TV movie. That movie is crap. In fact, there are better TV movies you can watch. Dogman, 5 stars. Absolutely recommend you see it with your kids. And Love Hurts is a grade A turkey. Avoid it like the plague. In fact, I'm less terrified of COVID and Ebola than I am of ever watching that fucking movie again. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.